today's video, we're going to talk about reusing our Christmas decor. If you're like me, I am on a budget and I don't want to spend money on new Christmas decor, but I also want my place to just feel fresh and new this year. So I'm going to show you how I go around my house and I take my Christmas items from, the years past and what I do to just kind of mix them around and just make everything feel new. I know I already said the word new, but you get the idea. So we're in here in my bedroom, and I know a lot of people sometimes don't do Christmas decor in their bedroom. I do happen to do that in my home because when you walk in my house, my master bedroom is right to the side and everyone sees it. So let me show you something that I do to save money and what I do, and maybe it'll give you some fun ideas if you want to like zhuzh up your little bedroom and make it pretty for Christmas, because we don't have to go crazy. We don't have to put Christmas trees in our bedroom. There's just simple touches that we can do, and then we're gonna head off into the rest of the house. I have tons of ideas all over the place with all different kinds of Christmas items. Obviously, I don't know what you have in your home to reuse, so maybe hopefully one of these resonates with you and you're able to get some great ideas for your home. All right, let's get into this. One of the first things that I try to do is I try to get bedding that can go for multiple seasons. Meaning I bought this pretty dark green velvet bedding for fall, and I was like, this is perfect to move right into Christmas. So we're not spending more money, we're just reusing what we already have. And the way I do that is through pillows and throw blankets. So obviously this pillow doesn't look very Christmassy to me, or, for the holiday season, so I'm gonna switch that out. Let's look at this pretty Christmas plaid pillow. So I'm going to switch that out. It's nice and big and fluffy, and look, it's got the soft fur on the back. And so I'm gonna put that in the middle of my bed. And then I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is just a really nice, just kind of sparkly pillow that says joy. And I'm going to top that off and put that on here too, just because we wanna spread some joy for Christmas. I also have a throw that matches the pillow. Well, look at that with that soft fur on the back that we're gonna put across the bottom of the bed. So we can just have that nice little comfy, cozy Christmas atmosphere. My dogs are going to eat this blanket up. Now, sometimes I like to throw mine like haphazardly and just make it look like that, but then sometimes, I don't know, I just like it to be neat. Okay, that's definitely looking festive, but I want to give you another little tip of something right up above, and let's talk about Christmas artwork. One of the absolute easiest ways to save on Christmas artwork is to print a download off of Etsy. Like for a couple bucks, you can print one off in order just to switch my stuff out and make it super easy. So like right now, I have this owl one that was in here for fall. Right behind this, I have a Christmas one, and then right behind that, I have an everyday one. And so whenever it's the season or the time, I just switch these out, and it makes it so simple. And I'm not buying new artwork every year, new frames every year, but I'm getting a different look. So that is another way that you can just reuse your decor to just give it the atmosphere you want, but on a nice little tight budget. You guys know we do a lot of baking here on A Charming Abode, and I am so excited to introduce to you Wild Grain. It is the first ever Bake from Frozen subscription box for like artisan pastries, pastas, and sourdough breads. What a game changer. What if I told you that this beautiful sourdough bread could be ready in 25 minutes and you didn't have to go to all that hard work making it? And it tastes delicious. Let me share with you what I got this month because I'm so super excited. With fall, I had to get the apple cider donuts. Look how beautiful those are. Pop these in the oven from the freezer, done. Donuts for breakfast for everyone. And then I got some pasta. Of course, I got sourdough bread. We're gonna have this here in a little bit with some soup. Can't beat the giant chocolate chip cookies. And then just some really fun stuff like the cranberry pecan rolls. Oh, this is gonna go perfect with dinner this week. And the croissants, stop it. You're never gonna get bored. They're always having like limited time items, seasonal items. There's so many things for you to try. And another thing I'm really excited to share, because I know many of you are looking for this, they have a gluten-free box. It is made in a 100% dedicated facility for gluten-free products. And on top of that, they have a plant-based box. You're gonna get all the flavor of the Wild Grain box, but in 100% vegan. Do you know how excited it makes me to have fresh sourdough bread with my soup ready? And this took 22 minutes in my oven. Oh, that crispy, crunchy, beautiful bread. If you're interested in trying Wild Grain, be sure to click the link down in my description box and use my code at checkout, Leslie30, and you'll get $30 off your first box plus a free item in every order. All right, I'm gonna go eat my soup with my bread now. And thank you to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. Okay, next up, let's talk about wreaths. Obviously, we know they go on the doors, we hang them all around the home, but I love to use my wreath sometimes for centerpieces. I mean, look at all this gorgeous greenery that's already in here, and I think this one actually, does this still work? I'll just have to get batteries, but I think, yes, this one actually, I don't know if you can see it with the filming lights on, but this one actually even has lights in it. So we're gonna use this as a centerpiece. And let me show you just a super simple idea of how to do this. Okay, I just have this pretty bowl that's kind of raised up, but you can pick whatever works with yours. And I'm gonna just set this down in here. Now look how nice this already looks. Let's talk about something else you can reuse in a different way, and that is ornaments. So one of my favorite things to do is to just take ornaments, old ones, extra ones, and put them in a bowl. And then look how easy we reused a wreath, we reused our ornaments. Now let me give you a little tip. Now if you're like me, a lot of times my ornaments already have like hooks on them, little strings on them. Just place your ornaments facing down, and then that way you won't even really see them, and they'll just look like sparkly little shiny little, you know, ornaments in there, and you won't even see that. And then you save yourself some time. This one's kind of broke. I'm just gonna put that guy in the center, and you're never even gonna know that that is on there. Look how easy that was. What a fun way to reuse your items for Christmas. Just one more little tip I want to say. This is a great centerpiece for the dining room table, because then when you're going to have like guests over or you guys eat your dinner in here, this is a super easy one to take off the table. Because sometimes for the holiday season, I'll do more elaborate ones and then it's like, oh, what a pain. But with this one, pick it up, table empty. So keep that in mind. While we're on the subject of wreaths, I wanted to give you an idea. So a lot of times we buy a wreath or we see one even at a thrift store and we're like, oh, that's not so great. Let me talk about the power of a bow in order to revive a wreath. Or it's so easy to change your theme if you just have a normal green wreath that's just the basic color, and you're going to redo your theme this year. Well, how are you going to reuse this wreath? You're just going to change your bow. So I've had this gold one on here, and it's so fun to like pick out a new bow to go on it, and it will definitely change the whole look. Oh, who am I kidding? Let me put my glasses on. So I have this big buffalo check one that I could put on here. That is super cute, and I love to use a big bow sometimes on these wreaths. So even if you have a really underwhelming wreath, put a big fabulous bow on there and it can just really make all the difference. And then what if we wanted it to be a little bit more traditional Christmas and we did a red and white? Oh, and see how each bow is different, and it just kind of changes the look. I know this seems so silly and so simple, but sometimes we just get stuck seeing something a certain way that we kind of forget, like, hey, it's okay to change things up. And that's just a fun way to reuse a wreath each year and just give it a new look. Let's talk about garland, because when we think of garland, a lot of times we think about it like coming down the stairs, maybe like on your mantle. But let's talk about how awesome it could be for just laying across your dining room table to where it's almost the focal point, where it's the centerpiece of your table. Sometimes some of the best, most beautiful tables look great when you just put a little bit of the garland just coming down the middle, and then we like layer it with different like taper size candles. And then we just layer it with different heights of taper candles. How just dreamy and romantic is that? So that's a super simple idea of how to reuse your garland. And I do want to mention that like this is super inexpensive garland. I got this at Michael's, and it was like one of their less expensive options. And so you don't have to spend a ton of money on garland in order to make it look nice. So keep that in mind. Another really great idea. What did I do with it? Oh, no? Yes. Well, you know, I'm losing my mind this morning. Another great idea with your old garland that's seen better days and you're just like, ugh, or just garland that you're tired of and you want to do something different with, I cut a piece off of the old garland and I'm going to make candle rings out of it. So this is a great way to reuse your garland. I just make sure I'm going to have it, you know, the right size to fit my little candle stand. And then you can do it one of two ways. You can use the floral wire and just hook it together. If you want a little bit more of a permanent option, you can do, you know, hot glue it together. I'm just going to use floral wire because, you know, you never know. I might change my mind and like want to have it be on a different size candle thing. Maybe I want it to be a little different. So just going to hook this together with this floral wire. And then this is such a pretty option. I love this. Okay, what an easy and simple idea and a great way to make over your garland. If you're enjoying today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This one might seem like a no-brainer, but sometimes I feel like we overcomplicate things. And let me give you a little example and bring you along on my little decorating journey here with me. So for the last couple years, my doggy's getting a drink of water right there. Well, she was very thirsty. So for the last couple years, I have done something with my mantle that I really enjoy, but I'm like, oh, I can't do that again. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, but I really like it. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move it to a different area. So obviously that's one of the ways you can reuse your decor. Take an item that you normally put in a certain area and just move it and give it new life somewhere else. And it'll make it seem new and fresh. I'm gonna insert a picture right here of what this normally looks like up here on my mantle where I do my little Christmas tree farm. And I'm gonna move that into the area that's in the stairwell going up the stairs. And I think that's gonna look really great. So let's go do that. I'm gonna place this little Christmas tree farm because this is what I used in the mantle. And just kind of pretending that this is my mantle and moved everything here. And then I'm just gonna put a bunch of different Christmas trees in here. And then it's just kind of fun because it's like, cut your own. And we're just gonna put different styles. This is the absolute cutest little Christmas tree farm. So simple, but yet so just classic. I love it. And it's not a lot of work and it's something that I really enjoy, and I moved it to a different area so it feels fresh and new. Be sure, if you're in the mood for some recipes and are looking for some great things, especially with the holiday season coming up, be sure to be following me over on Instagram and Facebook. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a blast. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.